Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the second episode of Advanced Warfare Best Class It Up series. So basically, if you don't know what the series is, if you're new to my channel, basically this is the series where I go into depth of what guns, what the best classes are for each gun that I like using. Obviously, I'm not going to be using every single gun in the game and doing a best class it up, because some of the guns out there are just complete trash. Hopefully they do buff a bunch of them, because there's literally only 5 to 6 actual usable guns in the game. So let's get started and straight into it. And first of all, we're going to be using the EM1 Lasergun, of course. You can use whatever camera you want, and that's all optional, really. Anything's optional, you can change it how you like, of course. This is just what I like and what I enjoy using. So let's get started and straight into the attachments. First of all, you're going to be using stock. I mainly just use stock because you can run a little bit faster and shoot while running and all that good stuff like that. It just helps a little bit with the laser gun, seeing you do hit fire a lot with this gun. I'm not sure if this gun is really good on console, but it is on PC because of the precise, accurate aiming that you have on PC with the mouse and stuff like that. So I highly recommend using this setup. It is very newbie though, so I do warn you guys, you will get screamed at and raged at in a lot of games. I don't usually use this class very often because of that reason, and I don't really like it when people use it against me. So I will go into the second attachment now, and that is foregrip. So basically, this gun does have a tad bit of recoil. It's not so noticeable in the short ranges, of course, like it is with almost any gun. But if you are in the long range, a foregrip can help a little bit. It gives you pretty much little to no recoil when you're holding down that trigger for long periods of time. And for the final actual attachment, we're going to be using a heat sink, and that's just so the gun doesn't overheat as quickly, so you can spray as long as you want, pretty much, guys. I don't recommend doing that because you're going to get raged at a lot, but if you want to get some decent kills, you can spray a lot with this gun with the heat sink. So of course you're going to be using the primary gunfighter perk along with that. So now let's get started and straight into perk. I haven't actually got any secondaries or anything like that. I don't really use them that too often. But first of all, for the first perk, we're going to be using lightweight. This is a fairly heavy gun. Of course, it is under the heavy section, so you're not going to be running very fast with it. So lightweight does help a little bit with that. Of course, you're still not going to be running like you do have an SMG in your hands. It is going to slow you down quite a lot, so you're going to have to keep that in mind with your playstyle. And for the second perk, you're going to be using gung-ho and fast hand. So you're going to have the wild card for perk 2 greed. So gung-ho, just because it just helps you run and gun a lot more, especially with this gun. It's kind of one of those guns where you move a lot while you're playing with it, and you kind of drop shot with it a lot as well, especially in the close range. When you drop shot, you can that can help you get the kill a lot easier, because the gun's not the strongest in the short range, but it can kill quite fast in the short range. For finally, the fast hands, I usually just like using fast hands on everything. I don't know why, it just helps me switch between guns and stuff like that, and switch to my knife if I need to get a quick, cheeky knife, and all that good stuff like that. And let's get started and into the next perk. So now we're going to be doing perk 3, and that's just blast suppressor. If you guys don't know what that is, it just means basically just kind of hides your exo movements. So it's kind of like dead silence, but for exo movements. So that's really good. It does come quite handy in S&D and stuff like that. I've been playing quite a lot of S&D lately, but not with this gun. So now we're getting into the score streaks. Oh my god, what am I even saying? For the first score streak, this is all optional though. You can use the system hack. I usually put extended time and disable exosuits on that, so that's about 950 points to get that, which is pretty good score streak. And for the next one, we're going to be using the Paladin. I like using the Paladin. It is such a great kill streak. It absolutely mows down people in just everything, except for when they do get in the buildings. Seeing that there's a lot of coverage in this game, it's kind of hard to get loads of kills with it unless you get them in a spawn trap, and eventually your gun does run out and overheat and stuff like that, so it makes it a little bit harder to do that. So I don't actually put any perks on it, just because it's a beast by itself. But you could maybe put missiles or extended like non-overheat time or whatever it's called. That could help as well, but it's all to your preference. And for the final score streak, you're going to use Warbird. I do put Defender on that, just because warbirds aren't the best when you're controlling them yourself. You can get, what, like maybe 2-3 kills with them, and then they don't do much from there. So I like to put defender on it, so it just follows me around, kind of like an escort drone, and just kills anything near me. So anyways, that is all for today's best class setup episode. Of course, I'm not going to be using any EXO abilities or EXO launches. Occasionally, I will put the tracking drones on though, because they are freaking beast. But that's all for today's best class setup episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the 2 videos I posted today, this and the live episode. Leave a like, rate, comment, and subscribe if you're new around here, and stay tuned for some future Advanced Warfare videos. So peace and goodbye.